Hello! This is Jedediah Don't Fight. No, not really. This is Dr. Pinesett, the Premed productivity expert, coming to you to tell you about getting into medical school. And today I want to tell you an interesting story about an event I went to recently that was with high school and college students who were interested in medical school. And I had an encounter with a student that I think is just eye-opening, and it just keeps reminding me the importance of stressing this. So today I'm bringing you the number one medical school application mistake. The number one, without a doubt. You cannot overcome this, and it's huge. Are you ready? It is not thinking about the application until senior year. And I know what you're going to say immediately is like, oh, of course, who would not think about the application until senior year? I don't mean just think about, I mean you need to be an expert in the application freshman year. Because all an application is a collection of what you've done for 4 years put on paper. So you can't wait until senior year to really dive in and see what's required on the application. And people ask me all the time, oh, should I get a application advisor? I think an application advisor is the biggest waste of money ever. For high school students, for college students going to medical school, whatever, it's awful use of your funds, because what can an application expert really do? I mean, there's a little bit, right? They can help you kind of put the wording together, and that's important. But when you're paying them all this money, all they're doing is putting a bow on what you've done for 4 years. They can't sprinkle fairy dust and all of a sudden make you a stellar medical school candidate. Either you've done the work or you haven't done the work, right? So thinking about that application early. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. So I'm at this event, high school and college students are going to medical school. And I did my speech, and I talked for a while, and then afterward I invited students to come talk to me. And one of the students came up to me and he was like, yeah, you know, I'm a senior at Georgetown this year, and I'm studying for the MCAT right now. I'm going to be applying in June. And I said, oh, that's awesome. How are you feeling for the MCAT? He's like, oh, I'm feeling pretty good. And we talked about his MCAT. And then I said, well, how about your application? How's that looking? He's like, well, you know, actually, I have my resume. Would you mind looking at my resume for me? And so he pulls out his resume, and on the resume, guess what there is? Nothing. Nothing. All he's done is tutor at the student free tutoring, and that's it. And he had a couple summer jobs doing odd stuff, but no other extracurriculars. And I looked at him and I said, where are all your activities and extracurriculars? He's like, oh, well, this is my regular resume. I also have my research resume. So I said, let me see that. And he had like some really great research on there, all that stuff. But so now he's a student, and I said, well, what's your GPA? And his GPA was like 3.8. It was amazing. But he's a 3.8 student with only research, no other extracurriculars. And I said to him, I said, you're not going to get in anywhere. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm a 3.8 student. And I said, well, that's all great and fine and dandy, whatever, but you're a 3.8 student who has no humanism in their application and who has no other insight into medicine. You've done some great research and you've got your 3.8 GPA, but you got nothing else to offer. And he acted like it was the first time someone ever told him that he needed to volunteer, that he needed to shadow or be in a healthcare setting, that he needed to do other things other than just get great grades and do some research. And my heart went out for him because he's a senior now. He's paid all this Georgetown tuition money. He was telling me how much debt he's in. And this guy's not going to get into medical school, flat out. Because what medical school, there's plenty of people out there with 3.8 GPAs. But they want to see well-rounded applicants. And this guy made the mistake of not looking and becoming an expert in the application. And now he's sabotaged 4 years of hard work. It's all going to be for nothing. This guy's going to have to take extra time and go figure out and do these extracurriculars and do these other things. And he'll eventually get in. But he's not going to have to waste all this extra time. So don't do that to yourself. Early in your first year, you should be getting all the information you can about the application from someone who knows, right? So that way you can plan it out and make sure you've hit all the marks, that you've checked all the boxes, that there's no reason that any medical school would deny you. You know, I constantly say that I felt 100% confident when I applied to medical school, 100%. And it's not being, prideful. It's not anything. It was because I know that I put in the work. I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I did it, and I did more. So why would they not accept me? But if you don't take the time to look at what the application requires early on and what medical schools are looking for, and you just go to like conferences and you're very passive about it, then you're not going to get where you want to go. So don't do that to yourself. early on in your career, figure out what med schools you're looking for so you can have your application be tight. Don't make that mistake. All right? Dr. Pinesett, the pre-med productivity expert, signing off.